All of us face hard choices in our lives. Some face more than their share. We have to decide how to balance the demands of work and family, caring for a sick child or an aging parent, figuring out how to pay for college, finding a good job, and what to do if you lose it. Whether to get married or stay married.
That was the first leak of Hillary Clinton's memoir, Hard Choices, a little bit from the forward. That was the beginning of this week. By the end, a full chapter on Benghazi had been released to Politico. We're back with the roundtable right now. And I guess David Remnick, not very coy here. Just everything is being coming. This is, as I said earlier, a White House-style campaign.
This kind of book has been happening since the days of Andrew Jackson. These are not books as such, they're products. Look at the difference between Barack Obama's first book, which is a real book, and the second one, which is a kind of modulated product to roll out the possibility of a presidential campaign. And the task of this book, I think, in large measure for Hillary Clinton, is both to embrace her time as Secretary of State and her relationship with Barack Obama, and also very quietly to put certain distancing factors.
But very quietly on the distancing, they've actually hired one of President Obama's former deputy press secretaries, Tommy Vietor, to go through the book and see where there might be points of difference. Bill Kristol, they also followed a classic strategy of getting, what might be considered the bad news out first, that chapter on Benghazi.
Yeah, no, it's a huge political campaign. They're spending, apparently, they're polling it and probably having focus groups, for all I know, of what you should talk about when she emerges in about a week or so. The difference between, it's a good example, a good comparison, the Barack Obama book. But that book, even though the second book was way inferior to the first, it was a forward-looking book, kind of a classic presidential campaign, My Agenda for America. I think this is problematic for her, honestly. She did it. She'll make a ton of money. She'll get some publicity. But she is now putting out on the record her account of 4 years, which were extensively covered. There's a huge amount of documentation. People are going to quite legitimately go through every single chapter and say, well, wait a second. You say you did this in the Middle East. What about, why did you leave out this particular encounter? You know what I mean? I think she's giving a lot of hostages to fortune here with this book.
But does she have any alternative?
Well, it's probably a good idea for her in some respects to be trying to get her hands around her vision of being Secretary of State and offer a template by which you can understand what she did or was frustrated by. But what is most interesting to me about the Benghazi sections that have been leaked is that it seems to me she's looking for a fight. The tone is defiant and I think defensive. She's looking for a fight. She's saying to the Republicans who've been questioning her, hey, you're kind of dancing on the graves of 4 dead Americans in order to make partisan gain. Them's fighting words. And at first I thought, why does she want that fight? And then I thought, she wants that fight now. It's 2014. She would like it to be old news so that by the end of 2015 she can say, haven't we discussed this enough
and
already?
Move to the future.
Yeah, three quick things. Number one, I'm not naive in suggesting this, but it is funny to me, comical for me, George, to watch Republicans chomping at the bit because they want her to be the nominee while nipping at her heels every single day.
You
that
think
dichotomy.
They want her to be the nominee?
Absolutely. No, they want this so bad.
I think
and the
they
media
take Martin O'Malley.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
That's number one. The second, so it's just funny, that dichotomy is interesting for me. They want her to be the nominee and they beat her up every day. Secondly, I mean this in all sincerity, I do not believe that a coronation, with all due respect to Hillary Clinton, I do not believe that a coronation of her as the Democratic Party nominee is good for the party or good for the American people. And I want to just say that, number two. But thirdly, Bill, another investigation, spending more taxpayer money on Benghazi, to find out the stuff that we already know just to make political hay over Hillary Clinton is not the best use of American taxpayer money, particularly when this same party won't get serious about an investigation of anybody on Wall Street that pushed this country, that is, to the brink of economic collapse. And nobody sits in jail today, but we're going to waste more taxpayer money on another Benghazi investigation?
It's a bipartisan investigation. The House Democrats are participating. I'm all for investigating what happened in 2008. The Democrats controlled Congress in 2009, 2010. They control the Senate today.
The House controls
and
it
they
now.
should,
They won't do anything about
they
it.
control the Senate. They should investigate what Tim Geithner did. They should investigate all the people who were part of the crisis in 2008 who ended up in very cushy positions in the Obama administration.
The hypocrisy and the humor.
The only thing I want to disagree with Tavis, with great respect, is the fact that the Republicans want to run against Hillary. I really
You don't think so?
I
think they're trying to knock her
I think they'd love to take a much bigger swing at Walter O'Malley or whoever it may be. Martin O'Malley, Walter O'Malley and the Dodgers. Martin O'Malley.
Same thing. Yeah.
Practically the same thing. Practically the same thing in the Republican view. I think
take that.
Hillary is a very strong candidate. Her history has been combed over so thoroughly so thoroughly that everybody who has opinions about it has already said.
I think they want to run against the person they think they know than the person
that
they
may
don't.
be. We got to go, though. I think, though, Bill's point, she's got to get to the future, not the past.
Right.
Watch Diane Sawyer's exclusive interview on Hillary Clinton's hard choices a week from tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern.